At the Birmingham Community Association. Meta Hackett talks to three members of NAME about their trip to Belfast.
Paul Murphy, you're the Education Officer for the National Association for Multiracial Education based in Small Heath in Birmingham. The acronym is NAME. And you were the driving force behind organising this group of people to visit Belfast to do your community video. Why Belfast?
Well, for 15 years, Belfast has come to people in Britain through the media as a place where one community is tearing at the throats of another community. And underneath that are the real kind of causes of poor housing, unemployment, ghettoing of the community through government intent. And what we wanted to do was to look at that situation and to see ways in which the kind of strategies used by community groups to combat that could be effective in Birmingham for combating racism.
So what's NAME all about? What's it done to create real awareness regarding multiracial input in the classroom, for instance?
Well, NAME started as a national association in 1965 for the teaching of English to pupils from overseas. In 1973 it became the National Association for Multiracial Education. This indicated a shift in the analysis of the curriculum and the way in which racism institutionally works. So NAME has run seminars, has produced publications on a regular basis, has also campaigned to the DES. And here in Birmingham, for example, when Mr. Khan left, who was a leading light in multicultural education, NAME got together a pressure group of other people working in education to ask for a multicultural inspectorate. That has in fact happened, and now the multicultural inspectorate in Birmingham is a large and influential body.
Could it not be argued that black British children should integrate to an indigenous British way of life, because a lot of them have to live and work here and don't know much about their roots anyway?
Well, Britain is a multiracial society. That is the heritage of British colonialism, and the people who live here from other parts of the world, whose parents are from other parts of the world, have a right to be here. They bring with them a commitment to the economic and cultural life of Britain, and there is a great richness in the diversity of cultures. Education is about opening people's minds.
Lorna Tull, you belong to NAME, and you're also a member of a theatre group called the Dark Movers Black Theatre, and you went on this trip to Belfast. Did you see a direct link between sectarianism and racism?
Yes, I did see a link between the two. While I was in Belfast, I was stopping with a Catholic family, and more so when I was there, and I think I was very prejudiced, saying that the Catholic was suppressed. Having come back to England and 3 Protestant guys from Belfast came on a return visit, I realised that both groups are suppressed.
Has seeing the way people live and work in Belfast changed your mind about the way you live and work in Birmingham?
Yes, in the Newton Abbey which is a music workshop in Belfast, and both Protestants and Catholic use this establishment. I find that having coming back over here, both black and white, if you've got a common interest in something, then you should work to get a positive end.
A positive image together,
yeah.
Right. Pete Millington, if I can bring you in here at this point. You're also involved with NAME, and you're a bit of a poet and a photographer. How has NAME broadened the way you perceive minority groups?
Well, mainly, if I talk about my background first, I'm from an area of Birmingham which is largely white, and I went to a school which was 96% white, and my earliest encounters with the immigrant population of Birmingham, West Indian and Indian, were from visits, journeys through areas like Handsworth and Small Heath, which seemed at the time like a ghetto, you know, which was something separate from the area that I came from.
And you just drove past?
Yeah. It was just a brief visual encounter and not actually experiencing the culture and the real people.
Mm-hmm. Don't you think that trips to places like Belfast for people like you is really preaching to the converted?
No, not really, I don't think. Because it was a real experience for me, and it destroyed a lot of my illusions that I'd built up because a lot of my impressions were major impressions before going to Belfast.
Paul Murphy, if I can get back to you finally, the Birmingham Community Association, to which you're connected, is adopting a rather interesting profile this year. Things are happening. So what have you got planned for 1984?
Well, we hope that the links which have been established between various sections working within the BCA, Dark Movers, the Trinity Photography Group, the Youth Committee, the Music
These
Workshop.
are all groups that belong to the BCA?
They're all sections of the association, and that together they present a strong front, and a lot of cooperation has taken place, like in the video project in which we were involved.
And what sort of projects have you got planned for the next few months?
Well, we're working on a play called Rats, and this is a play set in slightly in the future, in an inner ring redevelopment zone called Hanswell Bresmington. We hope to involve a lot of local school kids. If we can get the backing, we want to do it as a video project. That's one thing on which we're working.
How do the school kids get in touch with you?
School kids get in touch with us. We have gone out round local schools during the week prior to showing our New Homes, New Roles video. We visited 4 schools, played music, read poetry, addressed 5th year pupils, and that kind of work of leaflet.